tell us more about the joint venture between yourselves, Mantis, and Three Cities?
Hi there, Loretta. Thanks so much for phoning in. It'd be a pleasure to tell you. Obviously, we're all pretty excited about it. And I think really the move was strategic more than anything else. Mantis is 5-star boutique and game reserve properties in South Africa. And obviously, we have quite a large presence in the international market with 20 properties there. But most of our business is driven through what we call the outbound tour operator and inbound tour operator. And we've been always looking at how do we access the South African market. The South African market is bigger than we ever envisaged, and I think it's growing every day with the development of our economy and the growth of the middle-income person in South Africa. So 70% of our business was driven internationally, and 70% of Three Cities business is sourced from the local market. So we thought, well, here's a natural fit. Instead of us trying to create a separate sales force and leverage that market, why not take the two brands and put them together? And here I must distinguish quite clearly in the branding. We are a 5-star brand, and Three Cities are 3- and 4-star brand. So again, that seems to work for us, because if you look at international brands, many of them good examples, Marriott or the Preferred Hotel Group, have different categories of brands. And I think that's just a good marketing sense to be able to reach the different sectors in the market.
Adrian Gardiner, just tell us more about how the sales system is going to work, because effectively Three Cities will be feeding into your international sales portal, making it easier for them to go international and overseas. For Mantis, how are you going to be accessing this market through Three Cities?
Well, I think it's probably the other way around. What happens is we've got a probably 25 to 30 international representatives, and they've got probably 3 or 4. They have 25 to 30 local salespeople and 3 or 4 in the international market. So we would absorb the international market, and the local market would represent us, especially when we do South African specials and in our winters. So it's a case of leveraging existing market forces.
All right. Now, what sales strategies are you going to be employing? Because ultimately what you're all gunning for, the two of you, is 1 billion rands in sales at the end of the day. So in terms of the strategy, day-to-day sales strategies, what techniques are you employing?
Okay, if you take the international market, I think the existing techniques which we have in that's, as I said earlier, is to leverage the international outbound tour operator, who then in certain circumstances works through an inbound. So we need to just get into probably a bigger spread of countries. And I think the World Cup's done a lot of that for us, whereby markets such as Spain, Holland, Portugal weren't that big for us. Now I think World Cup's opened that tremendously. So our international market will leverage those new markets that have been created by World Cup. And then with regard to Three Cities, I mean, I think that what we're trying to do here is we want to have a competitive edge over other local brands, you know, the big South African brands. And just to give you a few examples are Protea and Southern Sun. So we want to obviously chip away at their market or grow the market.
All right. And then finally, Adrian, I know that the Mantis Group's got a very good profile across regions in Africa, and you've also moved into the conservation space on the continent and in Europe, for instance, with the Mantis Hotels. Working with Three Cities, how's that going to boost your profile, and how's that going to help you expand into new terrain and new fora, especially as we look at growing hospitality across Africa, beyond South Africa?
Well, again, I think where we need to look at that is that Three Cities have a limited amount of 5-star offering. So those will become Mantis branded, and we'll be able to give them far more exposure in the international market. We continually get a number of inquiries for us, which are the bigger type hotel, which is, you know, we boutique and small. They have city hotels, they have 200-room hotels and all the rest of it. We get those inquiries. We actually don't believe that we have the capability or the speciality to be able to do those. But we're receiving some very interesting inquiries just lately about quite bigger hotels. So there's an option to brand those hotels Mantis Three Cities, because they will both be leveraging on the South African market and in the international market. So Three Cities had a limited exposure in the 5-star market. We are obviously only 5-star, And we have 4-star inquiries where we need South African market and penetration into that. So there's an opportunity to be able to joint brand on some very special properties.